Welcome back, all my beautiful patriots and nationalists of Ireland and abroad. Today, the video we're going to be talking about, a few different videos and articles, is called the Gardaí lowering the fitness standards for new recruits. And who better to talk about it than certified personal trainer County Gaines, guys, alright? Check out my credentials, okay? Been working out for the last 15 years, have like 10 clients right now. For those who want to sign up for my personal training, link is in the description of all my videos, okay? I obviously run fitness training 12 weeks for €300. Very, very cheap, I must say. But it's absolutely insane, guys. You know, a lot of people would love to join the Gardaí to kind of help the system, you know, catch murderers, rapists, you know, become a detective, become an ERU member, emergency response, armed response unit. You know, the thought of joining the Gardaí always probably occurred to a lot of masculine men, as did joining the defense forces. I think a lot of masculine men of Ireland probably thought about that at some point in their lives. But in reality, we know, you know, that it's mostly just like parking tickets and tax and insurance. You know, the job is kind of lost, I think, its way a little bit, you know, although obviously Ireland isn't awash with crime the last few years. This year, the last 6 weeks, has been 6 stabbings, 7 stabbings, people being murdered. You know, Babatunde got murdered on the middle of flipping Dublin Street, South Ann Street, and, you know, the whole place has kind of gone insane. It's a bit of a free-for-all. But it's even insane how, you know, we should be funding, you know, for better recruitment and better recruits and smarter recruits, stronger people, you know, but now it seems like they're lowering it even more, okay? Before we get into the whole video, because we're going to be talking about the actual Gardaí training, you know, where they fight that big red man in the suit of armor, which is hilarious. Let's talk about the lowering the fitness standards. So right off the bat, guys, you know, the fitness standards for the Gardaí aren't that tough. I remember them correctly because I actually helped train people as well. I've had a few different people come to me for training to get into the Gardaí, okay? And I helped them basically with the push-ups and sit-ups, okay? Quite simple. If I remember correctly, it's 25 push-ups and 20 sit-ups within a minute each. And then you have to get like, you know, 8.0 on the fitness test or something like that, 7 on the beep test, which is quite, you know, it's quite, the beep test is a lot harder than the sit-ups and the push-ups, I would say, for most people. Quite not that hard, let's be honest. It's not really the hardest thing. It's not really the hardest fitness test in the world. I'm pretty sure I had harder fitness tests when I was in school, you know what I mean, just playing sports and stuff. I felt like it was quite easy. But now it seems that they're going to lower the standards even more, okay? Not only have they got rid of having Irish as a second language, okay, so now you can speak whatever language, you know, if you speak Irish, if you speak Spanish, whatever, you don't have to be a native Irish speaker. They've also increased the age range in which you can join. So you can join up to 50 years old. So potentially you can have a 45-year-old with very little physical fitness joining, okay? Now, that doesn't seem like good to me. It seems like a recipe for disaster. What if you have to run after a young guy, you know, a strong kid? You know, it just seems ridiculous. Now, obviously, for those wondering, you know, you can have different jobs in the Gardaí. You can be, obviously, as a computer guy, you know, you could be, you know, if you're 150 kilos, obese, overweight, maybe you sit at the computer and do this sort of technical stuff, okay? Maybe you're not out on the beat, you know, arresting people, because there has to be different jobs, okay, incorporated into it. Let's read this article by James Wilson. He said, it's madness for them to lower their fitness standards. Okay, in a bid to boost recruitment into the force, the Gardaí Síochána have announced that it will relax the requirements for its entry-level fitness test. Prospective candidates will no longer have to complete sit-ups or press-ups. Oh my god. I might just hit 25 push-ups here just on camera. I might even hit 50, guys, just to prove how easy this shit is. Like, 25 push-ups and 25 sit-ups is just nothing. It's very easy, you know, very easy test, guys. I mean, if you can't do that, even as a 30-year-old man or a 40-year-old man or woman, I mean, you're probably not in good shape. You know, your heart's probably not that in good shape either. So, in addition, the beep test, in which candidates have to run between 2 cones 20 meters apart in increasingly shorter periods of time, have been made easier, okay? So the hardest part of the test, in my opinion, was that beep test, and it's been made easier, okay? The journalist J.J. Clark completed the original fitness test and described it as tricky but not impossible. I practiced the beep test with a friend at a local GA club, he told Pat Kenny's show, okay, the propaganda show. Then I did the push-ups and sit-ups every single day for 10 days before the test. JJ could do 25 push-ups with training but had to practice the sit-ups. Okay, sit-ups, nobody really trains their abs that much. I, train abs quite a bit, but not that often. It's kind of a muscle you wouldn't train that much. Obviously, a man would train push-ups more, okay, because you want more upper body strength, all right? The sit-ups were a little more challenging because it was timed. So it's 90 seconds to get 35. Okay, that's really not that hard either. I mean, that's a minute and a half to get 35 sit-ups. Very easy. Or I think it might be 60 seconds, so it's a little bit more challenging. Whatever the case may be, guys, to get 35 sit-ups is not hard, I'll be honest with you, okay? In total, there were 11 other journalists taking the test, and they all struggled, okay? I was one of the members. I was doing it with another member of Garda press team, and he was 52 years old. We all started around level 5, which I'd say is around the 800 meter mark of the running up and back between two cones 20 meters apart. Basically, everyone bar me, and this guy dropped off. The beep got faster and faster until we got to about level 8, and I started to think, this is hard. JJ gave up before level 9. Okay, when I was 17, I did that test. I got 9.1 without any training. I was just like a skinny kid, I think I was 6'2", but I was same height as I am now, 6'2", 6'3", but I was very light. I was probably only, like 80 kilos, probably not even that, but I was very, very easy test, guys. I just played, some sports, basketball, stuff like that, nothing too hard, literally, yeah. So they've completely lowered the fitness tests, which is wild, because I would imagine if you are running after someone, a good level of cardiovascular fitness is pretty required, in my opinion. Okay, so let's see what the journal has to say about it. Okay, that was news talk we just reacted to. Now react to the journal. So they've dropped the push-ups and the sit-ups from the physical entry test, and anyways, going back and forth, there's a beep test, and obviously it was different for different genders. For those who don't know, if you're female, the test is quite a bit easier than if you're male, which, again, that's also not great, guys, because if women have to arrest people, they should be up to the same physical standard as the men. I mean, that's kind of how it is. I mean, if a woman can't adhere to the same fitness test as the man, are they really are they gonna be a liability, or are they really eligible to be working in that area? I don't think so. The introduction of a standardized pass-fail for all applicants as the pre-employment physical fitness comprehension test is to ensure all applicants, irrespective of age or gender, are able to do the same operational activity, like I said. Okay, so the new Gardaí physical competency test continues to prove on Garda Síochána with a reassurance that prospective Gardaí trainee candidates possess the acceptable level of pre-employment physical fitness and competence. A statement to media has said. Okay, the test has two main sectors. Okay, let's get into it, which are completed one straight after the other. The beep test and an obstacle course. Okay, which is pretty generic. I think that most police forces around the world have a pretty generic test. Like when you ever watch like the US, the UK, they have sort of push-up, sit-up tests, and then they have sort of a cardiovascular fitness test as well, which seems to make sense. Okay. Both must be successful, completed within 8 minutes and 4 seconds in total. Okay, so here it goes. The obstacle course involves a sprint start, weaving through cones, walk along a balance beam, lift a car wheel and carry it 3 meters. A car wheel probably weighs like 10 kilos probably, maybe a little bit less. Go underneath a barrier, jump over a mat 1 meter wide, push a sled 6 meters, pull a sled 6 meters and run up and down a flight of stairs, climb over a gate, and sprint 10 meters. Minister Jim O'Callaghan previously criticized the physical entry test, saying he felt it was too demanding. Okay, well, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, in my opinion, like I said, I respect the Gardaí. I think it's great. Detectives and, the ERU, they're doing great work catching murderers and killers and, serious crime, maybe drug cartel members, people that are like, killing people. But, obviously the regular members, it's a bit, they do good work too sometimes, but it feels, maybe sometimes, a lot of people don't love them in this country anymore, unfortunately, because of, maybe the riots and things that have been going on. But he felt it was too demanding. In my opinion, guys, you don't have to be a Navy SEAL, but in my opinion, I would definitely have every Gardaí, doing judo, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that. I did judo for 3 years as a kid. And, I'm a bit of a flippin', knucklehead. I love, like, wrestling, judo. I love that kind of thing, right? You don't have to be a maniac like myself about it, okay? You don't have to be a Navy SEAL. But I would say, like, quite a high-level standard of fitness is required. because you're dealing with criminals. You're dealing with like crackpots. You know, a big 6'2" fat guy. You know, I don't think a 5'1" woman who's not physical is going to be able to handle that guy. Even I would take a guy who's not very physical trying to take that guy down is not going to be doing that well, guys. You know, let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. You know, a kind of a big overweight guy that's tall is going to do quite much better than a guy that's not physically trained at all. You know, let's be honest. In 2023, when he was a TD but not minister, O'Callaghan tried the test himself and passed. I appreciate that a basic level of fitness is a prerequisite for Gardaí, but I believe the current test may disqualify those who have difficulty competing a strenuous obstacle course. I mean, that's the whole point of the test, though. Is like, so like you're not flustered in like a real life environment, right? A more sensible approach, in my view, would be to design the test to ascertain the candidate's current level of fitness, and an extensive program to be tailored accordingly on admission should the recruit exhibit a baseline of fitness. I mean, I think that the tests should be ongoing. I don't ever think that any sort of tests, you know, should be stopped and start. I think that they should be continuously ongoing throughout Garda College. I'm sure they do. Maybe when you get into the Guards, maybe one test every, I don't know, 1 or 2, even 3 years, just to see, hey, do you have a baseline level of fitness? You know, if you're 150 obese, you know, like I said, maybe you get to go on the computers. Okay, you're the tech guy. Okay, I don't think you should be running after criminals, just personally. Okay, because you are not physically equipped for that. Not everyone needs to be big and jacked and county gains. You know, you don't need to be like that. But if you're on the beat, if you're arresting people, if you're in violent situations, definitely. I definitely think there should be a high level of physical fitness. So continuing on from that, we have a apparently hilarious video here. I haven't watched this one yet, but it's basically, this is the Gardaí training for candidates and how they use physical violence on different people. Now, I saw people like Conor McGregor's coach Kavanagh, talk about this one, saying that, the physical fitness test and the actual, you know, hand-to-hand martial arts combat test is a joke. We're about to find out. This is some American guy giving a voiceover. So yeah, hopefully this one is hilarious. But yeah, I don't know how bad it's gonna be. Let's watch it.
So this is the police in Ireland training combatives. I thought it was a joke. I literally thought I was watching a parody or like Saturday Night Live, but it's actually real. And I don't believe they could carry firearms. So if you want to commit a crime, apparently Ireland is the place to do it. I don't know what I'm watching right now. This is a crazy.
Did you hear what he said? He said they can't carry firearms. So if you want to commit a crime, Ireland's the place to do it. I think all I know obviously a lot of people disagree with that, but in every police in the world, they carry guns. So if someone's getting stabbed, if there's a shooting, you know, then that kind of occurs. But the physical hand-to-hand violent combat part, yeah, this is a bit of a joke, lads.
And apparently Ireland is the place to do it. I don't know what I'm watching right now. This is the craziest thing. You know, I thought people not training in the United States law enforcement was bad, but this takes the cake. What kind of training is this? So just enjoy watching this parody, and hopefully they don't lose their stick, because if they lose their stick, they're in big trouble.
That's a good point.
I think even
I didn't even think about that. So this is all training with the baton. He calls it a stick, right? A baton, it's called, right? But I suppose if the guards were to lose their baton, you're screwed then. Basically, you're in a hand-to-hand death situation. Because if you don't have a gun as backup, then you're gonna get killed as a guard. Yeah, this is just wild.
Even with their stick, they're in big trouble. I don't know what the dude in red is doing. I don't know what he's supposed to be.
I don't know what the guy in red is supposed to... The guy in red is supposed to be the offender, supposed to be the attacker, I'm guessing, right? And then the women are supposed to be hitting him on the legs and trying to disarm him, disable him, I suppose.
I even think he needs to wear those pads. Yeah, a job worth doing, my ass.
Alright, that lad was funny. That lad was funny. Alright, but like I said, you know, the training aspect, guys, should be like... For those who don't know, I mean, a lot of people know this, it should be to develop this sort of hardcore sense of like, all right, like I am ready to go out, you know, and flip and handle business if needs be. If there's like criminals, because criminals don't care, guys. You know, people that are breaking the law, you know, crackpots, you know, they're violent people. and you have the Gardaí here. I think the training should be not militaristic. I think the US kind of have like militaristic training for their guards, for their police. It's not that great. But our level of training should be all like jiu-jitsu, judo, like maybe even boxing, like stuff like that, guys. If you do wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu, or boxing, any of those 4 martial arts, you're equipped for all situations in hand-to-hand combat, like 100%. Even if you train for a year, like people don't have to train for that long. I trained for 3 years. I'm quite capable just knowing different things, what to do in certain situations. Like all you need to do is just do it for a couple of years, maybe brush up on it once every few years, and that's it. There's no, you're not going to be a judo master. If you're a judo master, is it going to help you anymore? Maybe, but probably it would help you, but like just not like a Navy SEAL type training, not like a massively high standard, but to have a higher standard than it already is would be better. And they're actually lowering it, guys. I mean, I thought it was a parody. I thought it was a parody when I first when I first heard that. I was like, they're getting rid of all that and they're increasing the age limit. Like, so basically you have no gun, they're increasing the age limit, and you don't need to be physically fit. Like, dude, if you get into a violent situation with an offender, you're screwed. I don't even know, what are you gonna do? Like, I would just have the detectives, and I'd have the ERU, the ARU. I would just have them on speed dial if I was a regular guard on the beat. I would just have them on speed dial. If anything kicks off, just ring them straight away, because you have no weapons, you have nothing to apprehend the guy. I don't know, it's absolutely insane. Let me know your thoughts, my beautiful people of Ireland. I can't do it without you all, so make sure to join with the link down below. Press the join link and become a member. I really appreciate that. I'm getting a lot more of those join links, so I really appreciate that, the love and support. Subscribe. Let me know what you guys all think in the comments down below. I think this is just insane. Lowering the standards, man. They should be increasing it. Better funding, better training, stuff like that. But yeah, it still seems very prehistoric in my opinion. That's very archaic. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if you're putting the Gardaí at risk there, or if anything's actually going to be done there. But yeah, insane. I love you all, and I'll see you hopefully all tomorrow, guys. Peace.